I'm not gonna lie, this game probably is gonna make me stop doing game day predictions. I'm an idiot. I really thought the Eagles would rush for 200 yards. I really thought Saquon Barkley would go berserk. I really thought Tank Bigsby would get active. He didn't get a carry. Little did I know that it wasn't the Eagles that got 200 rushing yards. It was the Bears that got 200 rushing yards. And you're telling me that Kyle Monangai, a seventh round rookie, had a buck 30. You're telling me that DeAndre Swift, the Philly guy that the Eagles used to have, that had his revenge game, had a buck 25 and a touchdown. You see, when I watch those guys run, when I watch that O line block, they got that hunger. They got that eye of the tiger. I don't see that with that Eagles team. I don't see that with this Eagles team. They don't got the eye of the tiger. They don't have that that hunger. They don't. From Saquon Barkley, the offensive line, Jalen Hurts, the defense in that first half, it was despicable. Despicable. I was there in person. I saw that atrocity of a football team. Now, some could say, hey, man, you're still what? This point, you're what, 8-4? Hey, bruh, you good. You're still a third seed. If you beat the Chargers, beat the Commanders twice, hey, got 4 games left, I believe, right? I'm tripping. You don't got 4 games left. You got Chargers, you got Raiders, you got Commanders, you got Bills, you got Commanders, right? So that's 5. So you got 5 games left. Nah, it's so many things to talk about, bro. But it goes to the run game. It goes to the Eagles failing to defend the run. I mean, that run defense in the first quarter and the whole entire game was disgusting. How can this happen? I would have never thought in a million years that the Bears they would drop almost 300 rushing yards against the Eagles. Are we serious? Now we can talk about coaching, which we will. We can talk about the coaching malpractice of Patullo and Nick Sirianni. We talk about all of that. But when I look at one team had almost 300 rushing yards, and the Eagles didn't even have 90 rushing yards, that's about effort. That's about heart. That's about will to win. Saquon Barkley last week said the Cowboys wanted it more. My dumbass thought, okay, the Eagles, they're about to go crazy against the Bears. The Bears, they have fourth string linebackers. They're depleted. You should be motivated to make a statement in prime time. And you got embarrassed. You got bullied. Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, they got bullied out there. Sidney Brown was getting juked out by DeAndre Swift. Reed Blankenship out here, fourth down, slipping, and Colston Loveland gets the fourth down conversion. Reed Blankenship was terrible. Then Cole Kmet cooked him. He was awful. Oh, I'm like, are you still banged up, bro? He was terrible. This defensive line was terrible in that first half. I'm surprised. I checked my notes and I saw how many yards they had in the first half. Dog, it was a lot. I mean, I had it. I had the first quarter. We were outgained 120 to 32 yards. 120 to 32 yards in the first quarter. The first quarter. Are we serious? This is terrible. It's terrible. And we got to talk about this offense. And y'all know I'm a Hurts guy. Y'all know I'm a Hurts guy. But this isn't Glaze talk. it's real talk. Jalen Hurts was terrible. He was awful. I mean, you talk about the interception to AJ Brown, Kevin Byard takes it. Terrible, terrible pick. Then the Eagles defense steps up. Jalen Hunt has a phenomenal pick. Puts the offense in great field position. You fumbled a tush push. What about earlier in the game, 3rd and 8? Dallas Goedert, wide open touchdown. You hit Devontae Smith behind him. Hurts was terrible in this game. And we know Kevin Patullo is not good. But Hurts was objectively worse. Objectively worse. Patullo schemed, Goddard open. And he had him wide open. He don't even hit him. Don't even hit him. The thing is, that's my guy. Jalen Hurts is my guy. But we have to call a spade a spade. Here's the thing, though. Hurts played bad. But the Eagles aren't trading him. They aren't benching him. He's going to be QB1 regardless. Tanner McKee is not coming in the starting lineup. But there has to be a change. So if you're not changing QB1, which obviously we're not going to do, you have to change the offensive coordinator. This is an offense. They're playing like they don't believe in the coordinator. They're playing like they don't believe in Kevin Patullo. From Jalen Hurts to that O-line to Saquon Barkley. AJ Brown showed up. We'll talk about him a little bit later. Devontae Smith, I feel like he showed up. But they can only do so much when their position is so dependent on so many people to get their stuff right. You got to depend on Patullo to call the right play. You got to depend on the O-line to block. You got to depend on Jalen Hurts to not be throwing picks and throw balls behind certain guys and miss guys wide open. I mean, he had Devontae Smith in stride, and the ball was underthrown so bad that folks would say it's a PI. Now, I was at the game, and people were saying PI. I was saying, personally, for me, I feel like if you underthrow a receiver and he got to track back for it, for me, I don't like rewarding bad football. So personally, for me, I don't like having pass interference when if you just throw the guy in stride on time, that's a touchdown or that's a huge explosive play. So I'm not in the camp that's saying that was that should have been a PI or whatever. But regardless, you aren't changing quarterbacks. You have to change the offensive coordinator because the team is playing like they don't believe in Patullo. And bring in Brian Daboll. It's time. Bring in Brian Daboll. Make him a consultant. Do that. But he's really the one game planning. And he's really the one calling plays. I don't know if they can do a situation where they got Brian Daboll in the booth and he calling plays or whatever the case may be. But I would love to see him calling plays because there is no way you can go to LA and face the Chargers and Kevin Patullo's out there calling plays. You just can't because it's at a point now that I don't think Hurts trusts him. I heard after the game, it was like Hurts and Patullo were talking and all that stuff. And it's like, bruh, like we know they are not on the same page. They're not. And I contemplated saying this, and I want y'all to just respond in the comments because part of me doesn't want to make Jalen Hurts. I'll say it like this. Part of me doesn't want to give excuses for Jalen Hurts, and I'm holding him accountable for a terrible game. But also part of me is thinking, has this offensive coordinator broke my quarterback? I want y'all to answer that question. Because this 3-game stretch, 4-game stretch, outside of that first half against the Cowboys, my dog was terrible. And this whole entire season, it's like he's got to overcome a situation like certain people that they put themselves in environments and they want to succeed, but you can only succeed so much because of the environment that you're in. I feel that's Jalen Hurts and Kevin Patullo. It's like, yeah, bruh, you might have gotten F on that, John, but you hanging out with guys that ain't got no goals, no dreams, no aspirations, and that's bringing you down. Now you should still get, you know, you should still be held accountable for getting that F. You should still be held accountable for getting that F, messing up, just like how Hurt should be held accountable. But part of me is like, is the bad offensive play calling and is the terrible conservative nature of Nick Sirianni messing up with my quarterback? I don't know that answer, but now I'm thinking. Now I'm thinking because I saw what Hurts looked like with Shane Steichen. I saw what Hurts looked like with Kellen Moore, and it was never this bad. It was never this bad. Now, let's talk about this real quick. Nick Sirianni. I'm trying to figure out what does he do? And he has the record, and I've been a Sirianni supporter ever since he won the Super Bowl. And it's at a certain point, it's like when you're one of the top teams in the league in penalties and you don't coach offense, what the hell do you do? Because now I'm thinking, are you wasting the prime years of an all-time great team? Are you wasting the prime years of an all-time great offense because you want to hire your buddies? Sirianni really said in the post game, we're not changing play callers. Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman, help. Please help. Please help us. Because this guy, Sirianni, is too loyal, and that's a fault of his. Because when you hire your homeboy and the whole world is against your homeboy, you would want to stick by his side. If you take away the business aspect, that's a very admirable thing to do. But F the personal aspect. This a business, dog. And your homeboy is jacking the whole thing up. This offense has looked the worst it's ever looked in the Nick Sirianni era. I mean, that first half was an abomination. And those empty calories in that second half, I don't buy that stuff. This was a blowout. This was a blowout. This wasn't no 24-15. This was a blowout. It really should have been 24-10 because Jake Elliott missed a field goal. But hey, bruh, this team, it's got to get together, bruh. It's got to get together. But the thing with Nick Sirianni, bro, when things are going well, they are amazing. The Eagles are amazing. But when things go bad, they go south. It's either hot or cold. It's either this or that. It's never like, hey, man, we played our best, hard fought game, we lost. Like, it never feels like that with Eagles games. Like, you get blown out by the Giants. You lose 17-3 lead against the Broncos, and you lose that game. You choke against the Cowboys 21-0. You come against the Bears at home. You're against the Bears at home. You come out flat. Come out flat. You have 32 yards of offense and give up 120 yards of offense in the first quarter. It's like it's never no in between. And that falls on the coach because why is it so extreme on both sides. Why? And again, why can't you grab the clipboard and call a play? You'll have to stop defending foolishness and call it for what it is. Just like how we called out the defensive line. Just like how we call out the offensive line, they have been terrible this season. Just like how we've called out Saquon Barkley. He got outplayed by Kyle Monangai, a 7th-round rookie. Just like how you call out Jalen Hurts for being terrible. Caleb Williams, even though he was bad, he outplayed Jalen Hurts. He did. He did. You have to call out Nick Sirianni. You have to. And I don't want to ever see him, as long as he's a coach for the Eagles, hire a coordinator, because he don't know what the hell he's doing when it comes down to hiring coordinators. He hired Brian Johnson. That was a flop. He hired Kellen Moore. He not hired Kellen Moore. That was Howard Roseman. If you think Howie and them boys didn't hire Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio, you're mistaken. Nick Sirianni had no stain after that collapse to pick his coordinators. It was all Howie Roseman. So the next year, the Eagles win a bowl, and then Sirianni gets the chance to pick his coordinator. He picks his homeboy, and it's terrible again. So this is on Sirianni for how this offense looks. Last thing on the offense, got 2 more things. And we'll get to the one thing I heard with CJ Gardner-Johnson. How the hell do you not give Tank Bigsby the ball one time? Like, at a certain point, it's getting ridiculous. You traded a 5th-round pick and a 6th-round pick for this guy. That's a lot of trade capital. Why are you not using the guy? Not one carry? What is Ben Johnson doing? He saw Kyle Monangai, a 7th-round rookie from Rutgers, be pretty damn good his rookie year. And he's using him. Oh, it makes sense, because when players show up and when players play well, you reward them by giving them more touches. So Tank Bigsby is averaging 9 yards a carry, but we're not going to give him the ball. Makes no goddamn sense. Again, Patullo has no idea what the hell he's doing, and he's freestyling at this point. And it's a damn shame. Again, it's all blame for everybody. The defensive line, the offensive line, Saquon. I mean, again, I feel like the only person that you can't blame is A.J. Brown. But let me say this. It's very ironic that the Eagles' back-to-back losses, A.J. Brown went off. I'm not saying trade A.J. I'm not saying the Eagles don't need him. All I'm saying is I don't think it's a coincidence that the same games that the Eagles the same games that the Eagles lose, A.J. Brown goes off. Now, A.J. Brown, because he spoke out publicly about his touches, now there's going to be fans saying, oh, we gave A.J. the ball 10 times. Oh, we targeted him all these times. He got a $130, 2 touchdowns. We still lose. We don't need him. And I'm not at that point, but there's a disconnect there, because you're telling me that your best wide receiver or one of the best players on your team, when he gets used right, y'all lose. Something's off. Something is really, really off with this coaching staff. And it's so infuriating that when you get down 24-9, you start using A.J. Brown again. Or after an interception and y'all are down and now it's your back against the wall, now you want to throw a 33-yard dot to AJ Brown, touchdown. It's like you could have been doing that in the first half. Why did it take for you to be down or for an interception to use this guy, right? Let's talk about CJ Garner Johnson. CJ Garner Johnson is a baller. And I am so happy he said, what did I say? They're going to fold. And if you're an Eagles fan and you're offended by that, you are a loser. He is 100% right. This team folded, and he has all right to pop it and talk his stuff because this is the same team that made up a bogus reason as to why they let go of him. They said it was for cap reasons. And then they tried to get the former chief safety who ended up going to the Saints. I forget Cuz's name, which I know who I'm talking about. And then it's like Nick Sirianni is like, oh, I love CJ. I love CJ. Da 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 da. Well, you ain't love him that much because he was available multiple times this season. And for whatever reason, you decide we're above that. PSA, you're not above anything. Should have brought him back. Now he's balling. Now you're stuck with Sidney Brown. Ironically, Reed Blankenship, the vet, the captain, he was worse than Sidney Brown. Oh my gosh, he was terrible. But CJ got all right to talk his stuff. And I'm happy that he's balling with Chicago. Am I happy that he balled out against the Eagles? No, but I'm happy that he's at least popping his stuff because that's what you should do. You ball out, you win. People doubted you. Talk. Like if you get denied an opportunity from a job and you go to their competitor and their competitor has better ratings or outperforms your previous employer or the other company, you would feel really damn good. All CJ does is voice how everybody else in his same exact position would feel. He's just doing it publicly. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I screamed a little bit. I got a little bit antsy, but for the most part, I mean, like, hey, bro, like, I don't know. Uh, I'm mad. I'm upset, but I'm more disappointed. Uh, we will see if the Eagles change coordinators because, again, you're not changing the quarterback. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We are out.